What's up? What's up? We
Good
are in the
evening.
lion's den.
Roar.
Hey, he asked for it. Well, I can't even do it on here. I can't do it unless it's on Streamlabs, but it's okay. It's okay. We gotta roar just for spirit today. But let me go ahead and open up this stuff on my phone so I can, because you know how it is. You know how it is. We gotta roar just for spirit today. But let me
turn that down.
Well, it just went past all the stuff and started playing. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today though? I'm just trying to get all our stuff, get our video app pulled up and all that good stuff. But yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about today. Some fun stuff to talk about. And hey, so I'm gonna address this now. I'm looking like a chipmunk. I got my wisdom teeth taken out of my mouth. I got 3 of them taken out. I had 1 already taken out, but I got 3 wisdom teeth taken out. And on this side, the dentist said it was the biggest wisdom tooth he ever removed. So it put a number on me. But let's hit some people in the chat. Let's see who.
But Q, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So if you got 3 wisdom teeth pulled, did your IQ go down?
Man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I might let y'all down tonight.
I'm just saying.
Hey, but okay. So the first person in the room was Nikki of the Everyday Life of an OCD-ish chick. She's always showing some love, always showing support. And hey, glad to have you here. Turf Therapy, MIG, bro. You know, hey, enjoy Turf while you're here because you're gonna have a hiatus until he gets all settled where he's going. So look, if you see Turf, show some love, y'all. Show some love. Garden of Twitty. He says, all right, peoples, what's up? Hey, what's up is we about to talk about some fun stuff and we about to just kick it tonight. So that's what's up.
We're gonna talk about soil. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna talk about soil and we're gonna talk about a little bit of that seasoning we sprinkle on that soil to make it cook just right. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle that thing.
Hey, look, when you stain your finger, you a sprinkle different. Your finger tight, that's a tight sprinkle. See that?
He said he got to get all his in there with the wide sprinkle,
And if you hold your pinky out, you from the north.
Hey, we'll let that slide. You know, they got a little something going on with the pinky thing, but you know how we do it in the South. Hey, but I'll tell you what though, that Heineken, I don't know about all that though.
It's acquired taste. Once you get your old man taste buds in, then everything will start tasting different. You know what I mean? You still got young taste buds.
I got you. Because some things starting to taste different already. Let me see. Container crops. The Scaredy Cat Gardener. How you doing today?
Scaredy Cat Gardener.
We got Brampton in the. If I say in the building, it just comes out naturally. But you already know I ain't trying to encroach upon your territory. But yeah.
But every time you say it, yo, man, look at him.
Hey man, I'm probably at a balance of about 75 cents already, man. Golly. But Brampton, what's up? What's up, Rochelle? How you doing today? GG Natural. What's up? What's up, bro?
Can I holler at my cousin Sue?
Yeah. How about you can holler at some of the people too? Because I don't want to hog up all the hollering, but let me say hey to my wifey. Let me say hey to Tiffany Gray. That's love right there. That's love. And if you say hey to somebody, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. So I got your back.
Maria Jackson in the Lion's Den. Roar.
Maria
Jackson.
Work on
my roar, man.
Where's Maria Jackson at?
She was up there. You don't got behind already.
Man, I tell you what.
That
I'm
check
gonna find
get
it
flowing.
It get to flowing. I see it. What's up, Maria Jackson? Good to see you in the Lion's Den on the day. Good to see you. But yeah, we got, man, it's picking up. We got Love Notes in the Lion's Den, GG Naturals, Tommy Bites Homestead, Aunt Tia's Backyard. Hey, it's starting to warm up to be a real party here. Veggie Farm Garden. What's up, fam? What's up, Texas fam?
In Red Silo Homestead in the Den. What's up? I got to work on my roar. I want to roar, but I got to work on that. I got to do better.
I'm not going to even try to roar right now. I don't know what's going to happen if I try to do that. So I'm gonna just refrain from all that right now.
I feel like you had expectation when I stepped up here, and I've already let you down a hair.
Hey, I take what I can get from my broke, man. What's up, Stinky Puddle Ranch? How you doing today? How you doing today, family?
Tashi 23. What up? What up?
Red Silo said, was that your roar or was that your yawn?
A little yawn, dude. It's kind of disappointing. I must admit.
Oh, yeah.
Let me share this out, dude, before we get too deep.
Okay. Appreciate that. I'm gonna keep saying hey to some of the people that roll up in the building, because the phone is a little bit faster than the StreamYard chat, so it gets a little weird. So let me see. Yeah, I'll just let it catch up a little bit. We chilling. We ain't in no hurry. Suzette says, "Go ahead, Broke, and do the roar. We got to get that roar. She wants you to get that roar. She says she don't want to yawn. She want to roar."
I got to work on it.
Tiffany Gray says, "I think I got ripped off at Home Depot." They pretty good at doing that. Now. I don't even. I think I just messed up by even saying the name. No, I'm just. Oh yeah. Tiffany Gray says use a paper towel roll for the roar. When Tiffany does that to Rusty and he goes crazy. She'll get the paper towel roller, and she'll just it's like you make a special noise in it, and he just runs around the house like he crazy. So shoot.
All right. Got that posted, got that out the way. Now it's party time.
It is party time. And it honestly, you know what? It feels good to be back on StreamYard too. I like Streamlabs and stuff too, and I'm gonna use Streamlabs too, but it feels good to come back home a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because this is where it kind of kicked off,
Now, for everybody who keeps seeing me looking down when I'm looking at, I can't type in this chat. So I'm typing on my phone. Okay.
Hey, this is how it be. What's up? We got Lady Cheryl's organic food for us in the house. We got her in the house.
And Black's Tropical Homestead.
Hey, we got Black's. Yeah, he goes.
How can you look? I keep trying to click on the stuff like it's my life.
I wish StreamYard made it to where if you have a host on your if you have a guest on your panel or if it's just another person on your panel, you could give them access to do the stuff that you do. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll make it a lot easier for you to just kind of toss the baton back and forth.
But you know how I am, dude. You don't want me in control of nothing.
Tiffany Gray says my tomato cases I got was $7 each. Brokefarmer, what you think about that price?
That's an investment.
Okay. Oh, hey, if Brokefarmer says it, hey, and I'll tell you what, love, when you're done using them in the front yard for the decorations and all that good stuff, I'll use them in the garden. So we're gonna have 2 birds, 1 stone effect going on.
But you gotta use them for 7 years.
Okay. Fair enough.
If you don't use them for 7 years, you didn't get your money's worth out of it. So keep your receipt. I think that you can take them back within 10 years. I ain't sure.
Home Depot, they pretty much take anything back. They don't want no trouble. They literally. I got some stories about Home Depot, man. I ain't gonna go into it, but I'll tell you one. So I had a buddy named Archie. I ain't gonna say his last name, but his name was Archie, and he would break his sharpshooter, his shovel, and he would break it after using it for about 4 months and take it to Home Depot and get a brand new one for free, and they would never ask him no questions. He did this for a whole year.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't shop there no more.
Yeah, Lowe's is where it's at.
I only shop with a big guy.
Well, let me make sure we ain't missing nobody, because there's a lot of people that rolled into the Lion's Den. We got, let's see here. We got TT Panky. We got TT Ellen Panky in the Lion's Den. We got Lavender for Luck. How you doing tonight?
And you talking about soil. Guess who you got in here? Sifting some soil.
Okay. Sifting some soil. 55 in the Lion's Den. I wish I could do my roar. Could you hear that?
No.
Okay, yeah. StreamYard hating on me. Y'all.
Ooh, StreamYard.
But yeah, what's up, Hands in the Dirt? How you doing? Uncle Stacy. Uncle Stacy, I got some of that. Like, I got some of that muscadine wine from the farmers market that we went to. We killed it in one live. Me and Tiffany, we literally killed that whole bottle in one live.
The muscadine, yes,
like
definitely.
What's up, Tommy Bites Homestead? How you doing on this evening? How you doing, Shakira? How you doing this evening? Oh, we got. Okay, Loretta King, have you been in the Lion's Den before? Have you been to Lion's Den before? If you haven't, welcome to the Lion's Den. Super happy to have you. Let me give you a little roar. Roar. There you go.
Oh, you're better than mine.
I tried to put a little bit of little bass in the roar, you know, and I couldn't do too much, you know, but did what I could. What's up, G Mama Grows? Great to see you in the Lion's Den on tonight. So, all right, we about 10-11 minutes in. We got a nice little crowd in here. So what better time than to open up the subject that we're going to be talking about? Just kind of start warming it up a little bit, because I'm sure we got a little bit of a lot to say. We're going to keep it light though, because soil amendmentation, which is what we'll be talking about tonight, it can get real crazy, but it can also be very simple. We just got to understand what we've used and what we're gonna use. So that's the first point I wanted to make about soil amendments. And we got all kinds of stuff we're gonna talk about with it, but I just wanted to start it off with that because I wanted y'all to have that in mind as we go through some of the things that we talk about with soil amendmentation. So, bro, what was something that you wanted to bring into the conversation to kind of kick it off a little bit with the soil amendments? What was? Let me ask you a question first. So, what did you plant this past season? Oh,
you talking about for the fall garden or the
I'm talking about for the spring and summer up to now. Like, what did you plant and harvest, and then like you cleaned up and you know this stuff? Like, what did you plant to harvest that you ate and that you already ate? You know what I'm saying? I'm asking you that.
Okay, we only got an hour.
We don't got. I mean, we get if we go 2 hours, we go 2 hours. I'm just trying to be courteous of your time. Like, I get carried away in these things.
I grew a lot of stuff. Tomatoes, bell peppers, banana peppers, celery. Started my comfrey. I got a little comfrey going out there. Sugar cane. It's not big yet. I ran out of time with it, so I'm just gonna have to hold it over to Nick. And you caught me out guard. But I mean that's what I harvested the most of. Tomatoes, banana peppers, bell peppers. Oh, little pear tomatoes. Oh man, I've been eating those all year. I just got rid of those.
Okay, and I mean, and you like the answer you gave. I wasn't expecting nothing crazy or elaborate or nothing like that. I mean, you hit it right on the head. I essentially was just trying to kind of get an idea of what your soil might have been primarily using that you might need to replace. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, sir. I'm with you now.
Well, shoot, and I mean, shoot, and that kind of brings me to, I guess, the next point. It's kind of like a sub point, but all these plants that we. By the way, what's up, Eco Neighbor? How you doing tonight? Mr. Stinky Puddle Ranch, how you doing tonight? Glad to have y'all in the Lion's Den. And I just wanted to take a second to say, hey, how you doing? And it's great to see you. So, but one of the little sub points I wanted to kind of bring into that conversation was that these plants, every single one of these plants that Brokefarmer just mentioned, they all have special requirements. I mean, obviously, if you have different tomato varieties, they're going to have the general same requirements, but you would be surprised. Like, if you got like a beefsteak tomato that gets really big and huge compared to like a pear tomato that might get like smaller and be considered like a cherry, right? They're going to have different requirements, even being the same type of plant. So it gets that deep sometimes, but that's why we kind of want to take a simpler approach with it so that we can hit all bases. So just want to get into that.
And something along those lines also, when you, before you start saying amending soil, and it's just a little research, a little background, but the question before you get into all this is, the soil that you were using, did you have anything in disease plants in there? Let me refer to my notes. Were you overrun by pests? Is this even soil that you want to amend?
That's a wonderful question to ask, and I think, you know, as far as the pests go, I wouldn't. Pests, they're a lot easier to kind of work out of your garden than say a disease or like a bacteria that is causing havoc to your plants and stuff like that. And there are actually certain amendments that can actually curb some of these things, curb the pests, curb the diseases, make the right bacteria be in the environment, make the right fungi be in the environment, as opposed to some of the things that's going to actually cause you trouble in the garden. You know what I mean? So it's just, and I don't want to keep dancing around the subject because I'm talking about these amendments and, you know, like, oh, these magical I kind of feel like we're making it sound like it's a little mystical. So I'm going to kind of touch on one of these amendments here. And this is one of the amendments deeper down in my notes. But since you touched on the pest part of the things, I wanted to touch on crab shell meal, crustacean meal. I wanted to touch on the benefits of using any type of crab, shrimp, lobster, any of that in your garden and what it's going to do for your plants in the long term as it breaks down into your soil. That is, man. And I'm gonna expound on this a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit about a little bit more about this later. But I also wanted to answer Tommy Bites' homestead question about I have clay in my raised beds. How can I amend it to make it work for me? So in a lot of places in the United States, they have this particular type of compost that's called cotton burr compost. And cotton burr compost, typically with cotton burr compost, not all cotton burr compost, but with most of them, they'll put expanded shell inside of there. And then the cotton burrs themselves, like, you know, like cotton, like the little, like, so cotton is held inside these little like flower pod looking things that make white fluffs come out of them, right? So those flower pods have like literally 3 times the nutrition in them than most other flower pods. So the thing about those is they also take longer to break down. So when you put them into a clay soil, you end up with the clay literally having to make space for this stuff and makes water actually get into your soil easier. I'm trying not to go because it's funny because, like, you know what? I got some cotton burr compost in my garage. You want to keep them warm while I go and get that real quick so I can show it? I'm going to go grab it and bring it in here. All right, I'll be right back.
Mr. SPR, better known as Stinky Putter Ranch. What's up, buddy? Hey, Andale. Let me check out some of these comments. I can't pull them up, but Tommy Bites say, okay, little notes, because the guy at Lowe's said to use the topsoil and raised bed soil along with tilling it up. Yeah, I don't till my garden. I just layer it on top of everything. Stinky Porter Ranch says, Tommy Bite, what we do with ours is grow beets, radishes, or some yummy root veggies. One season to loosen up, then we add compost the next grow period. Yeah, that sounds good. They get everything going up in there good, and then break everything down. I guess it's a certain type of aeration, I guess, when you growing root vegetables.
What I miss?
Oh, it was a conversation. Stinky Porter Ranch at 646 comment.
Okay, I'll read back a little bit. Let me see. Okay, so some people were answering questions. Some people were answering questions for Tommy Bites as far as the clay. And one thing that Love Note says is my clay was the wet mud kind. I use black topsoil and potting soil, so it wouldn't be a heavy soil. That's another great point. These cotton burr, like the reason I brought the cotton burrs up to begin with is because it's the lightest compost I've ever used. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. And Andale said, are you talking about oyster shell as well? Oyster shell is really good for adding calcium to soil, but it doesn't necessarily help with compaction. And this is what I wanted to show y'all real quick. So this right here, there's a nursery called Covington's where I'm at, and they sell this stuff at different nurseries, but it's just the Covington's blend. But basically, I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to move my camera so you can kind of see it a lot better. Give me 1 second. 1 second here. Just getting adjusted. Moving this over a little bit. But this right here is like amazing stuff. So if you see on the front of it here, I'm trying to get in the camera, but It says expanded shale and cotton burr compost plus premium soil builder, 1.5 cubic feet. So on the back, you look at it and it gives you instructions on how to use it, kind of talks about some stuff. But I'm going to read to you what it says on the back because it's too small. But I want y'all to hear what it says because it's it's really nice. So it says Covington's premium soil builder. Tilth and structure can be rejuvenated with, it says with poor, wait, I'm over here reading this stuff bad. Soil is low in organic matter or humus, whatever, or with poor structure cannot be rejuvenated with chemical fertilizer. So basically, this soil builder has cotton burrs and it has expanded shell. Expanded shell has thousands of tiny pores that quickly absorb moisture and slowly release it into your soil. So basically, these pores are really good for use for sandy soils while loosening tight clay soils. So I'm gonna tell you something. Go ahead.
Somebody said something about showing the bag. Oh, she said thank you for showing the bag. Okay, it was called cotton burr and shale and cotton burr.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sweating. They got me on these steroids to make me heal faster. So the second I start doing any kind of activity, I get to sweating like crazy. Like, but yeah, that stuff right there is amazing because it loosens the clay soil because it forces itself into the tight spots and then it actually releases moisture into the spots, but does it in a way that you really don't have to worry about the overwatering part. Obviously, you have to watch the overwater, but it doesn't hold on to water like some of your other heavier manure-based composts do. You know what I mean?
That's a new one to me there. I had to take a note on that one. I've never seen that one.
Well, and I'll tell you what, there's a brand called Nature's Way that you probably can find all around the United States that has cotton burr compost too. And Nature's Way actually has a collective where they make sure that this stuff isn't being it's pretty much, they compost it at a super high temperature and they try to source it from places where they didn't really do much chemical fertilization and stuff like that. But if they did, they make sure that compost gets up above 110 degrees for the whole process. So
yeah, you know me, I'm an Amazon, and some people say Google it. I'm an Amazon it and see what come up.
Oh yeah. So Suzette Mutes says that should be good for containers. And in fact, I'm going to take one of these bags and split it into about 4 parts. And then I'm going to literally mix it with straight, premium soil mix, essentially with the perlite and the peat moss and all that stuff in it. I'm going to take that right there and literally take a quarter of the bag and then put 3/4 of that, a quarter of the bag, put 3/4 of the soil mix builder. And then with that, then we could talk about adding more of the amendments that we still got to talk about tonight because we're mixing it up.
Now, I'm just saying, since you brought up perlite, to anybody who don't understand the functions of perlite, how would you define the functions of perlite?
So the way that I would define the functions of perlite is basically that it provides pores for your soil, porosity. And porosity means it opens up air for the roots to be able to take up oxygen inside your soil. And it also allows for water to penetrate and move through your soil freely, as opposed to if some soil bases, some soil mixtures naturally have these properties to them already. But the perlite is a very good booster to make sure that water hits the bottom of that pot, because you already know when we water, we don't want for that water to soup up in that pot and then make the roots get all drowned out. So that's one of the bigger problems with container gardening and everything like that. We got to have a really nice light soil mix that we can hold nice amounts of water, right? That's like the contradiction of all contradictions, right? In containers, we got to have this light soil that can hold water. And that's kind of like you got to mix it just right for that to happen.
Yeah, that's I learned that's super, super important for stuff like sweet potato root crops, where they can go down there and the roots don't go down and hit something, or the root crop don't go down and hit something. So you want something light where it can dig in good.
Exactly. And a lot of the stuff like the expanded shell, the perlite, not so much because it's pretty, it doesn't have pores inside of it. It's just like a solid piece of white volcanic expanded rock. So that's what perlite is. It's like hot lava that's been pretty much cooled down. And they harvest that stuff and then we use it for our gardens. And let me tell you something though, there's this stuff called pumice. It might be called pumice. I have a habit of mispronouncing certain words that get kind of funny, but this stuff is called pumice. It's spelled, okay, any car mechanics out here, y'all know orange cleaner, right? Have you ever seen that orange cleaner stuff that you see at mechanic shops to get oil off your hands and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So the grainy stuff inside that stuff is called pumice. It's crushed up pumice. So pumice in its actual form is like perlite, but with holes in it. Just imagine it does everything that perlite does, but it has holes in it. So your roots are going to go inside those holes. Your microbes and good bacteria are going to go inside those holes, and it's actually going to help hold nutrition in your soil.
Yeah, I took that down. Yeah. When you started talking about, look, I saw your eyes lighting up. I was like, I probably need to Google this after I get finished with this. So I went ahead and wrote it down.
Hey. It's all love. And let me see. Hands in the Dirt says, just drop by for a minute. Good stuff, Q. Y'all have a good night. You have a wonderful night, Hands in the Dirt. I appreciate you coming by, and I always appreciate you being here, my brother. Thank you so much, So let me see what we gotta hit the comments a little bit, because we got a little deep. We went on a little dive there. So let's see what everyone has to say about what we said, so we can respond to it, or just say no problem, no worries. So, all right, it's a lot of people talking to each other, and please keep doing that. That's wonderful.
Container Crop did ask a question. She said, "Can you put the name of that compost in the stream, please?"
Yes.
I'll put that in there for you.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna look up the Nature's Way one real quick. I'm not gonna like go off my screen or anything, but I want to actually.
All right, I got it in there. That's right. Shell and cotton burr.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's called Back to Nature. Okay. Back to Nature is the brand, I think. So I'm actually about to find this stuff, because I've actually bought this stuff, and I want to make sure that it's somewhat available, because it's not expensive either. It's real cheap. Like this stuff took me to a dang cookie place.
GT Junior. Hey, how you doing, GT?
Great to see you. Okay, yeah. Here we go. I got a little link to a website here, and this could help with sourcing and everything. I'm just gonna post it in the chat. But if y'all have any other sourcing for it, cotton burr compost is amazing stuff. Just grab it. And oftentimes they will put expanded shale in it, because they actually want, when they use cotton burr compost, they actually want to help people with sandy soils, and they want to help people with clay soils as well.
Lady Cher had a comment about that. She said, use it sparingly and not on seedlings.
Okay, appreciate that, Lady Cheryl. So and that's great advice, because I've never even known that about like it having basically problems with young seedlings potentially. But that's amazing that we have such awesome people in our garden community to help us get the full picture of what we're trying to display. We appreciate that so much, Lady Cheryl. But yes, pumice is abrasive. I mean, when you're handling it in your hands, it won't cut you up or nothing like that. But I could definitely see how with a young, tender seedling, it could cause a little issue. But that's also another reason why it's another reason why you want to actually oftentimes have your seedlings started in a spot where it's going to be easier for them to develop and take off. You know what I'm saying?
And somebody had a question right there. Tiffany Q to you had a question. Okay. So cool. I'm glad. Okay. So yes, please do put question in front of it, because it helps us find it a lot easier. And I see what you said underneath Veggie Farm. I'll answer that too. So Tiffany Q says, did you see Nikki's video? The fertilizer she was spraying on her plants, would that have helped my plants while the fertilizer was washing out of the pots? So I will tell you, I'm going to be completely honest. I have not seen that video. I need to watch that video, but I will tell you, what Nikki was doing is referred to as foliar fertilization. And plants, they have what's called a stomata, or the stroma, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically like your mouth on your body. Plants have a 1,000 mouths on their leaves. So imagine a plant leaf. You can't see it, but a plant, it eats sunlight with its mouth on the leaf, and it also can take in liquid through that same pore. So the stomata allows the plant to take fertilizer in through the leaf surfaces as well. But you have to be careful about this, because it's a lot easier to burn a plant like that too as well. Can I add something to that too? If you
For
don't
sure.
mind? Now, anytime you see somebody using a certain type of fertilizer, make sure you do your own research and make sure that's something that works for the plants that you have. Because remember, everybody's yard is different. Everybody have different plants. So do a little research on anything you see on the video.
Definitely. Everything that we're saying with the love and care of our heart that we want your garden to be the most successful garden in the world, but everybody has different conditions and you're going to have to dive a little bit outside of what you hear from us. We definitely want to make it to where you could like dive for like 3 minutes and be like, I got exactly what I need. We're basically laying the fundamentals out for you to make your own decision. And I think that's going to give you the most power. You know what I mean?
Dude, I got to run do something for 30 seconds.
Oh, you good. You good. You good. Okay, so I'm going to hit the chat a little bit more, and I'm going to just go straight down the chat, and I'm going to hit comments that are directed to me or people that say anything that want. What's up, Angel Loves Garden? How you doing? Glad to see you here tonight, family. So Veggie Farm Garden says, my garlic rotted last year because my soil stayed too wet. Do you recommend perlite or vermiculite to amend the container soil? I saw Tiffany Q to you say this out of the corner of my eye, but she said that perlite drains water and vermiculite holds water. So I would say, and I think she said this as well, I would say use perlite because perlite is going to help that water actually reach the bottom of that pot into your drain container a lot easier. And vermiculite is going to actually make that pot hold more water. So, yeah. Okay, so this is perfect too. We got some added insight because so check this out. Lavender for Luck says it's the Evergreen brand here at Georgia at Lowe's, and that's the Cottonburg compost at Lowe's in Georgia. Evergreen brand.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
We got Evergreen sell a whole bunch of different stuff in Georgia. I use it all the time. I use the Evergreen compost and the topsoil.
Okay. And that's the thing too. I wonder if some of these companies, like when they get into different regions, do they be the same company but just start naming their stuff different to market to a like wider base?
I've done research on this one, Q. Now, it can be the same company name, but depending on the region or the state you live in, the mixture might change a little bit. You know what I mean?
I got you. Because what's available in the environment, right?
Exactly.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got
you. Just a little tidbit.
That makes a lot of sense, and I appreciate that because I didn't know that. And I mean, like, shoot, it's just like, it's cool though to be able to connect these dots and be able to be more educated as a consumer, you know, because we out here buying stuff to make, ideally, we want to spend as little money as we can on our gardens because we want to recycle as much as we can. But just also know that when you're living in like residential neighborhoods and things like that, you're going to have to find some way to amend your soil because you don't got no trees around on a large scale that's dropping all the parts on the ground for them to decompose and all that other stuff, you know. So you got to have something, typically just some compost and some amendments, which we still got more to talk about. So let me make sure. Yeah. So Brampton Garden says maybe some ethically sourced peat moss. If more people knew about how they actually harvested peat moss, people probably wouldn't. Maybe they still would use it as much, but I use peat moss, but I try to use it sparingly because, I mean, it's one of those things though. It's like, this is an ethical question I'm about to bring up. How do y'all feel about this, y'all? Basically, there are certain products that should not be harvested and used in a garden sense, but they work very well. And if I do not buy them, they're going to keep being produced. Does that make me, should I stop buying that product, even if it's the best product for my garden, or should I just stand on my laurels? Should I stand on my morals? Should I stand on my ethics? That's a good question to bring up, I feel like.
I mean, you can stand on your morals, but I mean, it depends on the situation. If you need that food to live, yeah, do what you got to do. But I mean, if you disagree with how it's sourced or anything like that, now if it's real cheap, I'm gonna buy it. I'm not gonna lie or act a certain way on the internet. If it's super cheap, I'm gonna use it. But if it's kind of expensive and I don't like the way it's sourced, no, I'm not gonna use it.
And that makes sense, because I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, I think that you brought up a good point, because you made me realize as consumers, we kind of have a little bit more power than what we realize, because it's like, especially as an influencer, especially as you start getting more seen and people see more of what you put out. Like if you say, hey, like this product is a little too expensive for me, I don't really like how they treat the workers where they do this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just something I don't really want to work with. And then just by like other people are going to have that same thought, but then on top of that, if you said that on your platform about whatever product it is, that has influence, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
like
if it's 5 people that watch your video and you send them to say, well, I bought this off Amazon, and 5 people go immediately to Amazon and buy it, and you get nothing out of the deal. Do you work for Amazon? No,
I don't know. You don't. You're a gift supplier. So Love Note says clay wet soil, it's not going to work for me. Is she talking about cottonburr compost or peat moss?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
But Indiana Backyard Gardener, we're glad to have you in here tonight.
Exactly. What's up, Indiana Backyard Gardener? How you doing? How you doing? So, okay. So there's a few points I want to hit before I have Brampton's comment up, but there were a few other comments about this before. So I'm gonna basically go down the list and I'm gonna kind of like make it as if it's a conversation happening, because it is a conversation happening. So, hi, Indiana Backyard Gardener. I know I said hey to you, but I just hey, how you doing? So peat moss is being depleted. That's what Love Note says. Then Brampton Gardener says buy Canadian peat moss. They farm and it's sustainable. And then Love Note says that I do not buy peat moss. I use coconut coir. So I'm going to stop on that real quick and I'm going to continue on after that. But there's stark differences between peat moss and coconut coir as far as the pH of the soil from the starting point. When you buy peat moss, your pH in your soil is going to be from 4.5 to about 5.1, which is very acidic starting out. You get coconut coir naturally has a pH of pure water, 7. Literally, like when you have coconut coir, it's straight up 7. So it's a lot easier to manage your soil conditions with coconut coir than it is with an abundance of peat moss. But that's not to say that peat moss is not going to do just as well. You know what I mean? I'm just giving the details of what makes these things different.
I think you probably got something at the very bottom.
Okay. And then peat moss comes from peat moss and coconut coir comes from coconuts. So let me go to the bottom here. But yeah, Brampton says research how they're doing it. In Canada, it's renewable. Okay. But yes, and Lady Cheryl says there are different resources in different areas. This is why manufacturers say it may contain one or more of the following ingredients. And that's a great point. And that touches on the point that Broke made earlier about how these different regions have different formulations of the same product, essentially.
and something else about that. Some of those products might have the same 4 ingredients, but if you live in Georgia and this is easier to harvest or get, then it's gonna have a little more of this. You know what I mean? Sometimes the percentages are threw off based on that stuff.
Okay, for sure. Oh yeah, and that makes perfect sense too from a business standpoint, because we're in a capitalist society, so you gotta kind of work around that. But Indiana Backyard Gardener says it's pretty cheap. You get a lot and it expands. And she's talking about, well, coconut coir and peat moss both expand. So what exactly are you talking about? But I will say that peat moss is typically cheaper than coconut coir. So she's probably talking about peat moss. But Tiffany Gray Love says that why is it not ethical to source? So, and I'll touch back on what Brampton said. Brampton says that in Canada, they have made a sustainable and renewable way to produce peat moss. But in other peat moss bogs and other spots, they were not doing that. So they were just basically taking and moving on to the next spot after they took everything away. So that's why it wasn't ethically sourced in those particular areas. But in Canada, it's a lot easier to sustain a peat bog and actually make sure that it never depletes. So that's all that. Okay. So Tiffany Q to you says love notes. I don't have trees either, but I go to share. Oh, she's talking love notes. I go to share the seaweed and seagrass. I walk the bike path after storms, and that's so smart. That is so smart, Tiffany Q. You basically got kelp on tap. You got kelp on tap, and kelp is some of the So let's talk about kelp for a few seconds, right? Kelp is one of the most complete forms of nutrition that you could actually have for your garden, because where does kelp hang out? Seawater. What does seawater have in it? Salt. But it's not just regular salt. This salt that seawater has in it has literally every mineral in the earth in it. because think about where everything on the earth ends up, in the ocean. Everything that we do in this world ends up back into the ocean. So the salt that is within that ocean, think about it. We make baking salt, we make jalapeno salt, we make all kinds of salt. So why wouldn't this salt absorb the nutrients as well? So when this salt absorbs the nutrients, the kelp that grows inside the ocean, it just lives in the water its whole life. And then it basically becomes like a nutrient plant, like a straight up nutrient plant. It's really good stuff, and it's very sustainable.
All right, container crops pine needle for the last couple of weeks. We are sold out everywhere here. She's talking a little notes. Now, pine straw is super, super, super cheap here. I mean, you can get a whole bale for $2. But what I like to do, I just ride along, and I see a pine tree with its needles. I wait till I see somebody in the yard. I say, hey, can I get some of your pine straw? Throw it on the back of the truck. Most of that stuff you gotta pay for.
I got you. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, pine straw, if you can find it and it's like they got pine trees in the area, that stuff gonna be dirt cheap. So yeah, they got baking salt. Brandon. You can make baking salt too. All you gotta do is make some bacon and then like basically, actually, I'm not gonna even speak on that. I've never made baking salt. Let me backtrack on that one. But yeah, you can look on YouTube and find out how to make baking salt. Love Note says something interesting here. So she says, but seawater now is making ghost forests by encroaching onto the land and soil, killing the trees. Too much of anything is a bad thing. I mean, it straight up though, if you took salt water from the ocean and watered anything with it, it's gonna kill it.
And the Brampton Gardener Rochelle said $35 for a bag of garden straw. What?
That is insanity.
Goodness.
What's up, C. Thomas? How you doing? What's up, C. Thomas? How you doing? It's good to see you, C. Thomas. I always love that amaranth in your picture, C. Thomas. It looks like it just looks like chunks of just something to eat. Okay, Brampton Gardner says do a video of making baking salt. Gosh, I gotta stop smiling so much. I gotta be serious because my jaw is all. Oh yeah, like.
Container crop made a great point, Q. I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you good. I want to hear the point.
She said, my son, and if y'all hear something in the background of me, I got the window open. I like to have the window open. But container crop said my subdivision just put it out everywhere. And I'm so tempted on my walk to just gather some. She's talking about the pine straw. Get that pine straw. Get your pocketbook, put it on your arm. Just walk by, pick up a little bit. You can't go to jail for stealing pine straw. You can't. It's a fact. You can't do it. If you go to jail for stealing pine straw, I'll bail you out. One.
Hey, you heard it here today, y'all. What's up, Newark Gardner? How you doing today? It's great to see you at home with Cherie. It's wonderful to see you as well. And at home with Cherie says, so far I've only ever bought soil, but I've set up compost piles this year, hoping to start using that instead of buying soil. That's a wonderful thing because, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. But basically, when you buy, most everybody got to go and buy soil when they get started. But the thing about soil that's so beautiful is you can, and this lets me go into my notes because, and this is the cool thing about us having this conversation because the notes, I'm not going to be robotic about it. If we talk about something that shows up in my notes, I'm going to go right to that point and we're going to talk about it. And I think that works really well. So basically, I put here, okay, I put here a question, and I'm going to ask you this question because you're here with me today, bro, you know? So do you think of your soil as a bank account?
Ooh, you caught me off guard with that one. I'm trying to understand the context without sounding stupid at the same time. But
just go for it. You good.
Yeah, kind of. Because the seeds are so cheap. So if you got good soil to grow it in, then it's like having your own money. You know what I mean? To a certain degree. Kind of.
Okay. And I completely agree. And that's a complete different perspective where I was going with it, but it's a completely valid and great perspective to actually add to the point. What I was going to say about it because I asked the question. I feel like my questions are set up sometimes. Not bad setups. I'm not trying to like put you in a bad spot or nothing like that, but
Yeah.
it's very orchestrated a little bit. So so after that question I said if so, like I asked if your soil was if you considered a bank account. If so, Brokefarmer, what's your balance of your soil?
I don't want to put it in a balance. How about I put it as a stock? I'm big on stocks. My soil is a stock that's on the rise that you need to buy now. Let's put it that way.
Hey, I like it. And before we continue on that little journey we're going on right now, I'm gonna hit the chat a little bit because I think that I'm kind of getting some wheels spinning with how I'm going with this logic right now. So Lady Cheryl's organic. Okay, I'll just say Lady Cheryl. Lady Cheryl says, I know peat moss is not sustainable, but I will not stop using the peat pellets anytime soon because whatever they do to compress those pellets kills the gnat eggs. I didn't get one gnat while I was using it. Basically.
Cute.
Hey,
I do.
Hey, go for it. So yeah, Lady Cheryl, like those peat pellets are they're the truth, and I like them so. You're so right. I never thought about that. You just blew my mind, Lady Cheryl. Like those little pucks, the little pucks that are like little peat hockey pucks. Those things are amazing. Hey, look at that. That's such a beautiful plant.
I put anything grow, man. Look, I got extra on extra now.
He got pucks on pucks on pucks. Okay, so all right. So we got some clarifications. Oh, well, no, I was just talking about Mr. Stinkbutter Ranch. Guys, talking to Mr. Stinkbutter Ranch. Okay, so let's see here. Brampton Gardner says, yup. My love, I love you. Okay, so Brampton Gardner says, yup, I wanted to get more to finish my bed. I'd had a bag on clearance. Okay, so I'll give you an example. The easy straw stuff out here is $17 a bag, but it's like it expands out to like 4 cubic feet or something. So you get to like literally with one block of that stuff. If you have 3 4x8 beds, you could cover that stuff with 3 inches of mulch. So some things depend, but here's where they get you with some of these costs. You might look and be like, okay, $17, that's not a lot of money because it's one item, but you have to really look at the accumulation of everything that you're buying. And the fact that you're trying to grow your food so that you don't have to go to the grocery store, right? Bless you. You're trying to grow your food so you don't got to go to the grocery store. Bless you. But if your food is costing you 2 times more to grow than going to the grocery store, even the health benefits, you got to work on that. You know what I'm saying? You got to work on that. So
something else. What's great about knowing people who garden in your local neighborhood, a lot of that stuff you can go half on cost with. Like, I got a buddy that has a bunch of straw, so we barter. You know what I mean? I come over and help him harvest, or give him a fig or something like that. You don't have to stop spending all your money on stuff that you can go in half with somebody. You buy it in bulk with somebody else. You don't have to spend $40 on this stuff. Find another gardening buddy and say, hey, we can have whatever for 2 years if we spend $20 right now a piece. You know what I mean? Help you out with the cost of a lot of stuff. But my allergies, oh my goodness. Oh, but I'm all right though. I'm all right. Appreciate that, GT.
I'm just returning the email that I have to return right now because it's very important. I did. It was just a sentence, but yeah. Tiffany QDU says I usually soak my seaweed in straw for a couple of days before I drain, dry, and add it to my compost. That sounds like that actually is a really cool idea because it gives you a head start with when you're going into your garden and you're putting straight water down, you soaking up that seaweed with your straw. It's like the straw is carbon, and anything that's carbon. I'll give you an easy example of carbon. A cardboard box, that's carbon. So like if you soak seaweed with a cardboard box, the cardboard box is going to have the nutritional elements of the seaweed because it soaked it up. And she's using her straw in the same way to basically make that straw be super straw for the mulching of her garden. Oh, but she didn't even say mulch. She said she dry and add it to her compost. So she uses it as a compost stimulator, which is just as good.
Yeah. Crazy Ed's homestead. How you doing, buddy?
What's up? What's up, Crazy Ed's homestead? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Are you sick with an elbow cough? Or is that just like an emoji that didn't work? I saw the elbow cough.
What are you looking at?
Hey, TT Panky, enjoy your nap. I know you got to get your nap in. I know you got to get your rest. Hey, Godspeed recovery on the hip replacement. I know that you're wanting to spend time with us on these lives, and I appreciate you just taking the time to even come and just spend a little bit of time, because I know that this is your nap time in the evening, you know. So much love to you, TT Panky.
Now let me ask you this. Lavender for Luck got a question.
Okay.
She says, all the way at the bottom. Before we get that, Laura Veronica Speedway. Hey, how you doing, Laura? She said, in Georgia, I purchased soil and black cow, but amend that soil in spring, I will need perlite and cottonburr compost, then use the peat pellets to grow seeds, right? Whoa,
okay. I'm gonna read this one more time before I even try to take a crack at it. It's not like I just want to make sure I'm hitting everything on that question, unless you want to go for it, bro.
Well, a couple things jump out right from the beginning, like the black cow, which is great. I love black cow, but black cow costs a little bit, so I did away with black cow, and now I use free chicken manure that a buddy got. He piles it and he lets it age for 4 or 5 months. I just come get a scoop and use it. But to mend that soil in spring, I will need perlite and cottonburr compost, then use a peat pellets to grow seeds, right? It's all on how you want to do it. You don't have to use peat pellets. You can direct sow all seeds. You just got to figure out the right time for your zone and direct sow them. The only reason I use peat pellets is to get a jump start on things that I shouldn't be growing right now. You know what I mean? Like turnips and bok choy. I've had those seeds in a peat pellet undergrow like probably a month ago. So I've already ate the turnips and bok choy. So it's just to get a jump start, but you can always direct sow.
Oh yeah, for sure. And about the cottonburr compost into the black cow manure, that black cow manure typically can be a little bit heavy. So if I were to add cottonburr compost to that black cow manure or compost, I'll be very careful about making sure that it doesn't have too much nutrition for your plants at the very start, because cow manure typically it has a nice amount of nitrogen in it, and then on top of that, your cottonburr compost actually is more nutritionally dense than cow manure. That's crazy to believe, right? But that bag of cottonburr compost, when I bought it into the garage, Tiffany was like, "What is that smell? And why does it smell like a decomposing body in there?" Like, it was so strong, but like when you opened it up, the smell it went away instantly, like the kind of stagnant smell. But it's just so like rich with the nutrition that basically like you got to be careful. But what I would do if you're gonna do that, I would cut it with some just cut it with peat moss or cut it with coconut coir. Literally put like 33% coconut coir or peat moss, 33% black cow compost, and then 33% cottonburr compost. You know what I mean? So then you have balance.
Now, fun fact, I've never used coconut coir. Never use it.
It's good stuff.
I haven't gotten into it yet. I don't know. I don't like the concept of it. Just being honest. I don't know. And I had a bad situation when I was trying to start some seedlings that didn't work out. So of course I didn't blame it on myself. I blamed it on that. Oh, hey Nikki, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, Nikki? Every day. Well, she came in. She was the first person to say, "Hey." She's just coming back. But so Lady Cheryl says, "I'm at the point now. I don't have to purchase any fertilizer except for the little bit that comes in potting mixes. I occasionally purchase." That's the point we all trying to reach. Lady Cheryl is a shining example of where you want to be with your garden situation. I guarantee you that she does not spend more than $50 to $75 on garden soil and all this other stuff per year. I'm not going to guarantee that because that's weird. I can't guarantee something for somebody else, but you get what I'm saying. She just said it herself. I'm at the point now I don't have to purchase any fertilizer. So that means that she is saving a lot of money and she is eating great food. I just saw literally a few days ago, she posted her canned lima beans, and I was like, I want those canned lima beans. I want them, but I can't have them. Hey, Crazy Ed, I'm doing well, by the way. I hope you're doing well as well, bro. I know you be out on the roads, out on the highways and byways. Hope that you stay as safe as possible out there. And I hope that barbecue cook-off is going great.
Hey, Lavender for look, say I use black cow this summer. Will it be viable next spring?
Stuart, I just wanted you to know that it was all love and I didn't forget about you and stuff. I've gotten behind on some of my orders because this chipmunk, I'm Theodore from Alvin and the Chipmunks right now. So it's kind of put me back a little bit, but I'm full swing now. Like these steroids got me feeling a little hype and my jaw swole, but I'm past the worst of it. So I'll be getting back in full swing. No worries, Stuart. I got you, my brother. I got you. And you Cowboys, so you know I got to get you. Hey, you're not Falcons, though. Let me just say that. Did you catch that, bro?
No knock against the Falcons will I acknowledge. I will not acknowledge no distance to the Falcons. Look, I've been a Falcon fan for a long time, but I put up with a lot. I know when it comes. I can be listening to two people talk over here. I can hear a Falcon joke over there. Not going to be
Hey man, I'm sorry about Julio though, bro. They I don't know what's going on. Hey, we ain't gonna talk. We talking about amendments though, because the Falcons, like they cool. I'm just messing with you, bro. I love them. I love the Falcons just like I love the Cowboys. I'm not a fan of any team. I'm a fan of watching good football games. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So Love Note says, oh, you go ahead.
No. I was just saying this. Lavender for look when she was the question she asked, and this is my opinion. Will it be viable next spring? I think all manure or stuff like that, it just gets better the longer it sit to me. I mean, it's not going to get worse because it sit there for a long time. I don't even think it doesn't have a good by date, I'm sure. So, and this just how it's simplified to me in my brain. Chicken manure, they say age it for 3 to 6 months. But everything after that, it break down more and is better. So I use that for all manure in that kind of thinking. Black cow, which is cow manure, the longer it sit, the more it break down, the more it's good for your plants.
Hey, we got a new lion in here, Lauren Veronica Speedwell. How you doing today? Glad to have you in the Lion's Den. It's wonderful to have you here for the first time, and I'm glad you could catch us live, family. I'm glad you could. But so one thing I did want to say about this question before I touch on Love Note's point and then keep going down the chat is all compost turns into humus or humus. Like somebody correct me. I don't care. I want to be right on this, but I literally don't know if it's humus or humus. But all compost turns into humus over time. And what humus does, say you water with some 511, right? What that humus does, it captures that 511 and makes it last past the point of watering that you applied that 511. And the longer that you have compost in your garden that has been aging, the more it has the ability to actually take in nutrients, hold them, and not burn the plants. That's our whole goal, to get our bank account balance up really high and not have any kind of negative drawbacks of interest with that high balance.
I like what you did there. I like how you took all that and you just sewed it up a little bit. Much respect.
Hey, but look, and I think it's such a cool analogy because it's like we all trying to make money, we all trying to like live our lives and stuff like that. And when you put things into certain perspectives, it becomes a lot easier to understand. So let me go ahead and say what Love Note says real quick. Love Note says, I have a tumbler composter, worm farm, and now the chickens. And all the cardboard will up my game with the compost. If my comfrey hadn't died, I would be using that also. Love Note's over there concocting a super potion over there, boy. You know what? One day, Love Notes, if you could, like, just email us like a picture that's very non-specific. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see a piece of your garden. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like you give me so much imagery, you know what I'm saying? Because you have so much insight and knowledge. Just show me like a tree. Show me like a tree or something. I just want to see it. But
Lady Cheryl made a comment about going away from the fertilizer, and I got some comfort coming from a real sweet person here on YouTube, and I think I'm gonna try to break it down to chop and drop with comfort tea, and chicken manure. All that is free. Everybody I know has chicken, so that is a great. I'm gonna catch some stuff on clearance that you know how I like that bone meal and blood meal. But besides that, I just like it. I like it.
I love the fact that we did notes and we're not sitting here like just reading the notes, because when you say certain things, I said this already, but like the blood meal and bone meal, like, do you mind if I touch on that for just a second?
Yes,
because basically, and so I put here blood meal. Blood meal is nitrogen dominant. It comes from animal parts and it's not consistent though. You have to really be careful about where you source your blood meal, because think about it like this. You can have healthy cows, you can have unhealthy cows. If you're sourcing that blood meal from your unhealthy cows, it might still do the job for your garden, but it's definitely not going to do as good as the healthy cow blood meal. And I'm not saying that blood meal even comes from cows on a regular basis, but what I'm saying, I'm just giving an example. And I also put about blood meal that, all animals are not created equal. So you have to take that in consideration. And then bone meal, it's calcium dominant, which, touching on the point of what you grew, when I asked you your first question about what you grew in your garden this season, the pear tomatoes, like just like a lot of this, like the peppers, because did you grow some peppers too?
Yeah, this bell peppers and sweet, banana sweet.
Yep, even those peppers, they're all calcium dependent on a high level. And a lot of people don't realize, a lot of times we don't have nitrogen deficiencies. Nitrogen is very common in nature. What happens is calcium gets ate up real quick, and we end up having blossom end rot on a lot of our fruit. We end up having like a lot of problems with basically fruit not setting, because calcium is super important for flower development and flower production, just like phosphorus is. So in Crazy Ass Homestead said I'm doing well, and I'll be out on my new property, not coming this week, but the following week for good. Hey, congratulations on that, my brother. And I'm glad you could get that done, man. Like that's a blessing right there, bro. That's a blessing.
What now, I'm kind of interested now, because you started talking about blood meal. What's the next thing on your list? Because I don't kind of got in tune with it now.
Okay. So you want to? Okay. So I'll tell you. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we talked about the crustacean meal already, but I will talk about the crustacean meal in a little bit more detail right now, because we're trying to understand more about the pest deterrents. You remember we were talking about the disease and the pest deterrents, trying to figure out what amendments actually help with that. Let me read C. Thomas's comment, and then I'll talk about that in detail, because when I talk about this crab shell meal, crustacean meal, y'all gonna be like, hey, what's up? So C. Thomas says that is right, ladies. Y'all do not buy them either. I started my garden with mushroom compost. Now I have cows and use things around the house. Chickens are next on the list. Look, you're doing it right, family. You're doing it right, family. And AJ, I see you, family. Thank you for swinging by. Thank you for showing support. I love that, my brother. But what I'll say about this crustacean meal, so I'm gonna get on my notes because I don't want to miss anything that I put down here. So crustacean meal is dominant in calcium, nitrogen, sulfur, and chitin. So we're gonna talk about chitin a little bit, but I just wanted to say that. So basically, this amendment is vastly beneficial for stem strength, chitin. So chitin and calcium combined together from the, so let's talk about chitin a little bit first before I even get more into that. So chitin is anything that comes off of like a bug's skin, its exoskeleton is composed of chitin. So like a cockroach, the skin of a cockroach is chitin. The skin of a grasshopper is chitin. The skin of any bug that has a hard body is chitin. And what that does when it breaks down, it makes other bugs not want to kind of be in the environment for some reason. It's kind of like if you pooped on the curb and like someone was walking by, they wouldn't want to walk right by that poop because it smells, right? So the bugs and microbes do the same thing. Nothing in nature wants to be around its own waste. So when you take this chitin on a microbial level, when the microbes, the bacteria and stuff break this down, it literally creates a plant available form of chitin called chitinase, which your plant takes in, and then it's kind of like a vaccine for your plant, bro. Like it literally will make your plant more resistant to disease, make your plant more resistant to pest attack, all kinds of things based off of it taking up this particular amendment itself. And that's why I'm just such a huge advocate for crab shell meal, crustacean meal, shrimp meal, whatever you can find with that. It's always going to be a really good source of chitin and calcium. And the thing about that is it's going to make your cell structure really strong, and it's going to make your plant disease resistant. And that was a little deep dive on that, but yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Jackson Harlem, hey, how you doing? Canadian Pride Get Outdoors, my guy, what up?
Pits, yes, it's just like insect frass. So insect frass is insect droppings, but it's going to have the same effect as chitin as far as deterring pests. Pests don't really like to be around their own poop. What's up, Shirley Weems? How you doing? Canadian Proud Get Outdoors. We got Canadian Proud in the building. So Veggie Farm Garden got a question, and if I miss anything that someone says that they want me to touch on and I didn't touch on it, feel free to say it again, because I'll get to it. It's just, we pop in a little bit in the chat, but that's okay. So Veggie Farm Garden says, question, what do you think of feather meal versus blood meal as a source of nitrogen? Can it be as beneficial? I actually have notes with differences of them in my notes right now, so I'm going to give that to you. So blood meal, like I said, not all animals are created equal. So if you have a good source of blood meal, if you have a really good source of blood meal, it's going to be great for you. It's going to have great nitrogen. It's going to have a lot of other great micronutrients in it. But you got to make sure it comes from a good source to make sure that it's going to do what it does. But the feather meal is nitrogen dominant. It comes from bird feathers. It has abundant levels of nitrogen, but it's primarily great for soil structure. So you can use it for the feather meal. I would honestly say the feather meal is going to have a better long-term effect on your soil than the blood meal will, because the blood meal is going to break down faster because it's pretty much like dried down flesh. It's going to just break down and be nothing real quick. It's mostly nitrogen. But your feather meal, it's mostly nitrogen too, but it's also going to have feathers, it has like skin of the bird on it. It's like kind of has like that little rib in the middle of the feather, like that little hard piece in the middle of the feather or whatever. When that breaks down, it actually helps the soil be able to make water pass through it a lot easier. So as some of these amendments break down, they add different elements to your actual soil, or add different properties. You know what I'm saying? Add different things that your soil can actually do. Oh, she's talking to the sweet spot. What's up, Jackson Harlem? How you doing, family? How you doing?
And something else, the sweet spot was talking about was worm beds and worm castings.
Okay, so let me get to that comment. Let me open it up. Okay, is it up a little bit higher?
It's lower.
Okay, I see it. So the sweet spot says, Tiffany Q, do you have content on your worm bed? So she was asking that to Tiffany Q, but hey, Tiffany Q.
We're gonna jump
in. But yeah, Tiffany Q, make some content about that. I see you've been making more videos lately. Come on out. Come on and make more videos. I want to see them because I watch them all the way through and I love them.
And the thing about that is, we were talking about amendments. I know something I picked up today, a big bag of worm casting, and referring to my notes, healthy microbes in your soil. Let them sit there and marinate and get ready for the spring. Oh yeah.
Ooh, we said oh yeah at the same time. Yeah. Hey, but bro, like that is the language right there. So if you get that and you go into the winter with those microbes in place and you keep them warm without, it's really hard with straw, but if you get and here's the thing about wood chips, you can always break them back. and add some straw later if you want, and then make those be the surroundings of your bed after the wintertime. In fact, what I would recommend is in the wintertime, put a 3 to 5 inch layer of wood chips on top of your garden that you're growing nothing on, because those microbes that are in that soil is never going to stop producing the whole season. But if you leave that mulch layer off for the top 4 inches of your soil, your microbes are going to be dead. It's going to be a slow start for your spring season. So what I would do, I would make that 5-inch thick layer of wood chips. And then when I'm about to come into the spring and you don't really need those wood chips there on top of the soil, I would literally surround the sides of my garden bed with the wood chips that I put on top. And then I would put like some easy straw, something simple on the top for my seedlings later on. But when you do that, your soil, when you move those wood chips, that soil about to be black and crumbly. It's about to look beautiful, man. Oh my gosh.
I gotta get a bunch of. I need a big thing of wood chips because before it get cold, I'm going around all my fruit trees and the 2 beds that don't have anything on. I'm gonna drop them wood chips and I'll see what happens.
Hey, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. See, Thomas says I did not know that, Q. So what do I do with these grasshoppers when I help to the next life? I leave them there. So what I would do, to be honest with you, like if I had a complete choice in the matter, I would literally take those. It'd be pretty nasty, but if you had enough of them, you could do it. I would take like some water, like 4 gallons of water that you just got sitting around somewhere. I would literally just add a gallon of grasshoppers to that bad boy after smushing them. Just smash them bad boys and throw them in the water, throw the lid on, smash, throw the lid on, smash, throw the lid on, and then get you a paint strainer bag and bucket, and then pour all that stuff inside that new bucket where it has no particulates in it. And then you about to have you a chitin calcium blast in that mug, you know, like it's just like super juice, but it's just using bugs instead of plants.
I know. I've seen Lady Cheryl amend her beds with azomite rock dust. I finally got mine from Amazon in the mail. Really excited. That's something you use too, right, Q?
Rock dust?
Yeah.
I've used it before, but I don't have any on hand right now. But what I've been using as kind of like, I just have like an amendment. I have an amendment mixture that's pretty good that I'm not so worried about my mineral content. But what I will say is a lot of the stuff that I water into my garden that like, okay, I'll give you an example. The super juice, my super juice that I got in my garden, I know that it has every mineral under the sun. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, if I'm watering like with regular water, like, and I rarely do this, what I like to do personally for my garden, I water with nutrients all the time. But what I do is I just water at a quarter strength. So like if I'm using 511, instead of using 511 once every 2 weeks or something like that, I'm gonna use it every time, but I'm gonna use it at a quarter of the strength. And then basically what's gonna happen is your plants are gonna always be looking for that next fix. They're always gonna be looking for that next fix. And you literally see it. The plants, it's like they're trying to like up. They're trying to get to the next level or something. It's crazy. And I kind of feel like you got to think about what rain is too. That's why I don't like to water straight out the tap, because tap water is dead water. Like rainwater always has nutrients in it. So why wouldn't I always have nutrients in the water that I'm watering with? Yeah.
Now I don't go to that degree of the stuff that I put in my soil. So that rock does probably help me way more than it help you.
Oh, and I mean, I'll say this, bro. Like, if I had rock dust, I would be using it. Like, I just don't got none right now. I got some oyster shell meal, but that's about the closest thing.
And I'm about to have some. Yes.
Oh, some oyster shell meal?
Oh, yeah. As soon as we get off the line, I'm going to Amazon.
Hey, and I mean, shoot. I got a 50-pound bag in the garage. If you want me to like literally send you 4 pounds of oyster shell meal, bro, I'll do it, bro. You don't gotta buy it, bro.
Dude, all right, yeah. All right, we'll talk about shipping.
All right. I got you, bro. I got you. Cause that bag, bro, I got that bag a year and a half ago. I ain't used a tenth of that bag.
Okay.
So yeah. But let me see. So Tiffany Q says she already did a worm casting video on her channel. That was her first video she did.
Cool.
So check that out.
Oh, a couple people came in. My Tiny Garden and 2 Quacks and 5 Clucks Farm.
Hey, what's up, 2 Quacks, 5 Clucks Farms? How you doing, family? How you doing? It's great to see you in here, family. So Lady Cheryl says something that's very great. So Lady Cheryl says nothing in compost should attract critters. No meat, oil, pasta, or cooked food. Just raw veggies and fruit scraps, paper, leaves, and wood chips. Completely correct. What I will say though too about that is when you have, there are ways to actually compost like meat and things like that, but it takes a different process. And I would not recommend anybody at their home to try to compost meat in their backyard. Like it takes a lot of wood. Like I'll give you a little insight of how they compost meat and fish parts and things like that. So if they want to make like compost out of fish, and there's a product called Ollie Mountain Fish Compost, and literally how they make it, they chop down a whole bunch of dead trees, and they get a whole bunch of they wait for because salmon, they'll breed and then they'll like basically commit suicide. So they'll get those dead trees, they'll get those dead salmon, and they'll ratio it out just right, and then they will literally they'll have like 60-70% fish, and then they'll have 30% wood chips, and then basically over time the microbials within those wood chips will break that fish down. But that takes about a year and some change for that to happen. So as far as what Lady Cheryl's saying, she is completely correct. Do not ever put no meat, no oil, no pasta or cooked food in your compost. Just raw veggies, fruit scraps, paper leaves, and wood chips if you're a backyard composting. Because last thing you want, because I've had it happen before, I buried a catfish in the ground that I got from fish, and I cleaned it, got all the meat off of it. I was like, and this was when I first started gardening too. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to grow some great plants. Let me tell you what, the grass in that spot was growing furiously until one day I let Pink outside and she caught smell of what was in the soil. And you know what Pink did, right? She dug that up and she ate it. And that thing was like 3 months old. She had some fermented fish. And so if you have animals, raccoons, things that will dig up your soil, even because that's the way that you do compost, like a meat product, you dig a really big hole and you just let that thing sit in there for like 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years. And then you come back to it and it's basically just black dirt. But that is not the typical way of composting things. So you have to really keep that in mind when you're talking about meat. And I'm probably going to do another live at some point where I talk about bokashi composting, where that particular composting is specifically for meat, for oil, for all that other stuff. And I'm also going to do a live in the future where we talk about black soldier fly larvae, because black soldier fly larvae, they literally, yes. Yeah. So black soldier fly larvae, they thrive off of the human diet. And then when they poop, worms love to eat anything that they poop out. So you can literally have a 2-chamber like little system. If you have a worm bin and you got black soldier flies, you can literally compost anything by basically having a few different stages. You're like processing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I watched. I don't know how I watched that video, but I saw a video somewhere about that.
Oh yeah, but black soldier flies are like amazing. And then the thing about it too, after they get big and they start to like turn brown and try to turn into the fly, you take them and you feed them to your chickens because they have all the calcium that your chickens would ever need. They have all the protein. They have all the everything. So it's some legit stuff, y'all. Like, it's dope. So 2 Quacks 5 Plus Farm says, I need that super juice recipe. Hey, well, I'll give it to you right now. So what's in my super juice from right now is my last year's sweet potato harvest. All the leaves from it, all the roots from it, all the stems from it, everything. I just put it in there and let it sit in there. It's literally at this point, oh man, at this point, it's literally, that super juice is a year and a month old. Actually, it's probably about a year, but shoot, it's gotten better with time. Last time I used it, my garden just went bananas. Like, the watermelon started putting out all kinds of new fruit in September. So you could tell that it has all kinds of nutrients in it. It's feeding the plant on a complete level. So yeah, but what I'm putting in it this year, oh boy, I'm making a new batch of it. I'm getting a whole new 55. I have a 55-gallon barrel in the garden already. I'm gonna take it and put it in that same spot. Y'all know where my blue barrels are. Y'all seen my garden a million times. I'm gonna put it behind one of those blue barrels and I'm gonna fill it up with the watermelon leaves, the sweet potato leaves, and yeah, just the watermelon, the sweet potato leaves, and the sweet potato roots. Because basically, I'm trying to make a high octane nutrient mix that I can dilute. Because I'm never worried about making nothing too strong. Because like I told y'all, I'm never watering at full strength ever.
And that's really, really important. Because somebody like me, I don't even think about it. I just pour the whole thing in there. Just start pouring it like that. No.
Yeah, and I mean, that was me too. I mean, we all kind of went through that because we're trying to feed our babies, right? We trying to make sure they get strong. We trying to pump them up. So let me. Tiffany Q says these squirrels used to steal from my compost until I started chopping everything down in the process before adding it. Okay, that's legit right there.
What kind of squirrels you got? Oh my goodness.
Do you know how behind I am in chat right now?
Yes. Yes.
I'm glad. I'm so happy you're helping me, bro. Like,
and
hey,
Lady Cheryl just made a good point about what you was talking about. She said her late husband would dig a hole near his fruit tree and bury fish heads and guts. He also put the ashes from the fireplace around his fruit tree's biochar. And that's something I didn't understand the concept of it, but growing up, we went fishing all the time, and it was just normal to bury the guts. I guess I thought because they didn't want to put them in the trash can, but it has a big nutritional value to your plants, which I didn't even understand that till I got older.
Well, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like what Lady Cheryl says and what you're saying makes perfect sense because you got to think about it like this, right? It's especially when you bury it deep enough, you know what I'm saying? Because then the animals aren't going to be able to smell it, but then you give it enough time and it's like the most holistic nutrient that you could add. It's so like, and when I say holistic, I mean, it's just like when you're adding a lot of, you go ahead. I'll just, yeah, but when you're adding a lot of these nutrients to soil and stuff like that, it has a not very long lasting effect. But when you add a whole fish body and guts to a hole, that bad boy about to be, it's about to be providing nutrition for the whole, I don't know how long. And look, y'all, like, let me say, hey, all in the soil, how you doing today? How you doing today, family? I like the pic. The pic reminds me of the thumbnail for this live, actually. The thumbnail for this live is actually my worm bin. I actually let all the worms kind of not die off, but I let all the adult worms pretty much pass away. And it might seem like, oh, that's terrible, but I'm gonna take all those so those worm castings, the adults all laid tons of eggs inside that worm bin. So I'm gonna take that whole worm casting bin that I made, and I'm gonna just apply it to my garden beds and put wood chips over the top of it this coming winter. So then when that happens, all those eggs hatch right into the spring, start breaking that stuff down, start making everything really, really available.
Hi, hey D Miles, how you doing? D said, yes, bro, Heineken is an acquired taste. I acquired it 20 years ago. That's funny, dude. That is funny.
Let me see. I'm gonna scroll up the chat and kind of hit some randoms because I know that I'm so behind. I'm just kind of hitting different points because, and I know y'all think, and I'm just gonna assume this and let me know if it's different. But I'm human, but it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying. We human. We up here. We just trying to help. And like I said, like you could say it again, and then you could even shoot it. If you shoot an email, you're definitely gonna get answered.
and this is a great thing to start the conversation. Sometimes you just gotta have a conversation. Sometimes you don't know what you don't understand until you listen to other people. Like I heard Q make 3 points that I got to go back and Google. But that's the whole thing about it. You start a conversation and you figure out what you don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know until you hear somebody else say it. So now I got stuff I got to do some research on, which is a good thing.
Oh yeah, like, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it, bro. We learn so much from each other all the time, you know, and it's like, especially with the time that we spent developing this community and like the relationships that we've developed, it really truly feels like we out here trying to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like not literally get it together, like, you know, get it together like we in some bad place, but we're all out here trying to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Get it, comma, together. But see, Thomas says my super juice is rainwater, coffee grounds, weed from the yard, banana leaves off. Boy, your super juices, that's mega juice right there. That's ultra juice.
Hey, that's that juice there.
For real. So Tiffany Q says this is the time of year my mom would send us fishing. Whatever we brought home, she planted it in the garden. You have to plant it deep. My dad dug a hole probably 3 to 4 feet deep.
Yeah.
Facts on that, because if you dig it that deep, then the animals aren't going to be able to smell it through the soil and everything.
And Lavender for Look made a good point. She said, "What do y'all?" Well, not a good point, but this is a good question. What do all y'all use to stop lion boars and the like. From my understanding, you can't stop them. You can only try to help contain them.
I'm not laughing at you, I promise.
Dude, you
it's
plant
just
them
they're
later.
impossible. They're impossible to stop, bro. They if you plant squash in the wrong season, your squash are gonna get destroyed by vine borers. It's just what it is.
From my understanding, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna wait later in the season, way later, because they only have a season. Am I right?
You're right.
So
You're right.
once they done doing what they do, I'm just gonna try to get a quick harvest variety and just try to grow it.
And that's the best thing, especially with you being a zone above me, because I know I'm 8A and you're like, wait. You're 8A. You're 8A too, but it's just a little warmer here. So, but for you, it's like if you basically take your gosh, I had a brain fart. What did we just talk about? I'm sorry. I just literally had.
I was trying to find a question again. Hold on. Oh, right there. Vine borers.
Okay, yeah, the vine borers. So, like, basically, what I do to that's so funny, y'all. I'm sorry. I literally was in the middle of talking about it and just went bloop. But okay, with the vine borers, what I've kind of come to find out is basically if in Texas, in zone 8A, in Texas, or even in Broke's case, if he has an early variety that can finish pretty fast, I just plant them. I plant them jokers at the beginning of September. Like if I'm planting them indoors, I'll plant them in the middle of August and get them out at the beginning of September. But once you hit that mid-August point, you don't have to worry about vine borers getting inside your plants no more.
What? Hold on. What was that date you said you plant yours?
I planted them indoors on August 15th, which is my birthday. And then I put them outside on September 1st.
So let me ask you this. It's pretty warm. It stayed pretty warm here for a while.
Yeah.
Do you think if I got starts, I could get some zucchini?
Faux show.
Quick
Right now, you have 60 days. Like,
I'm gonna get them.
And if you can protect your plants from light frost, you really got a little bit more time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I would go for it, especially so a particular variety of squash. Never mind. That's the seed variety, so it's hard to find them. But lemon squash, if they had lemon squash at your nursery or wherever you could find it, those finish the lemon squash in 50 to 60 days.
Really?
Yes. So that's why I planted seed of them and everything. And I'm gonna do like a short or something tomorrow where I give y'all an update on the seedlings that I planted outside, because y'all remember I planted the lemon cucumbers, the lemon squash, the Rugosa violina, butternut squash outside. Them bad boys have literally quadrupled in size already.
And that's the crazy thing. A lot of people think that it's certain things you can only plant at this time around the world. But in different states and stuff, it stay warm for a long time, dude. It only starts getting cold here, like October something or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's 80 degrees every day. It's just,
exactly.
So a lot of the stuff you think you can grow, you got a way better chance at extending your season than you think you do.
For sure. Especially because a lot of us now are learning how strong like grow lights can really help your progression. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you use grow lights and you harden your plants off, and honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. I'm just gonna be completely honest with y'all. I've never hardened off a plant. Like I literally use intense grow lights and I will put them outside, and I've had, if it's too hot outside, they die. But if it's not too hot outside, they just live. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like, but I'm with Broke. I'm just like, I like them to thug it out, because sometimes I'll be so busy. Like if I go and take them out in the sun and I forget about them, what if they just be fried when I get back then? So
I did make a better effort this year. I like the idea the lady Cheryl had about the shade cloth. Going forward, that would be my whole harden off routine. I'm just gonna take my plants out there. I'm gonna get some rig up TP, shade them for about 4 or 5 days, and let that be it. That worked.
That's brilliant. I remember her even saying that.
Whoa! I got some Wakefield cabbage out there now. Oh my goodness! I did that exact process too. and they are beautiful, beautiful.
That's, oh my gosh, I could use some. You know what I want right now? I want some cabbage and some farm raised smoked sausage.
That sounds good. I don't even eat pork, and that sounds good.
Hey, you can get beef smoked sausage.
It ain't the same.
It ain't the same. You're right. You're right.
It's like turkey bacon. They shouldn't even call it bacon. It's
right.
not bacon.
You're so right. You're right. Hey, Bell's Backyard Garden. How you doing tonight? It's great to have you in here. Fellow G Tribe member. She says, hi, Q. Hi, Brokefarmer. Hey, chat. This is such a good conversation for me. I need to learn composting and better methods of feeding my plants. Timely. Hey, well, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Golly, it's like StreamYard be trolling you, man. Like you'll get to the bottom of the chat and then like it'll like literally go to the halfway point of that mug. I'm like,
yep.
God,
yep.
no.
you got 40 more comments down there.
Hey, it's all good. We chilling, and I'm gonna tell y'all what, like these steroids I'm on, they literally make me feel like sleep isn't a thing. Me and Tiffany, we stayed up till 3 a.m. last night, and I felt like I went to bed at 7 p.m. That's why I like get these wisdom teeth out early. It's not worth it.
See, somebody else Sue. I did late in the season, they always get me. Next season I'm growing my squash hydroponic and see if it works. That's something
that's gonna be fun.
Oh man. That's why
fun.
we had these conversations. I never even thought about doing squash hydroponics.
I haven't thought about it either, but you know, one thing about coconut coir, it's the perfect segue or bridge into hydroponics, because coconut coir by itself, you have to feed every nutrient that you ever give the plant. So with hydroponics and water, obviously you're using whatever nutrients you're using to grow the plants. But you can do the same thing with coconut coir, but it actually is a lot more forgiving than just having straight water, because with straight water, if one thing go wrong and you ain't there for 6 hours, you come back and your plants are straight up gazone.
Facts. Dude, I had a golden zucchini growing out there. Cute. It was the prettiest thing you ever want to see. I went to work for 2 days and I couldn't get out to the garden because I worked from sun up to sundown. Went in there, it was a wrap. It was like mush. It was like somebody had some melted ice cream in there, dude. I was like, okay.
Oh man, that stinks, bro. Like, so Andale says, we had something rob the land of plenty last night. Ate all the spinach and chewed on the Georgia collards a little. We think it was a groundhog. Man, we about to be having some groundhog stew.
Now look, Andale. Now before you get too deep and messing with that problem, get you some mothballs and spread. But look, all right. We're talking about food, so don't put the mothballs close to your garden. But take some mothballs far away from your garden and kind of spread them around your property line, around your fence line or something like that. I had a lot of success with mothballs, keeping stuff out the yard.
Hey, I've heard that before too. I've heard that before too. So, Lady Cheryl, it's been wonderful. Super happy that we could have you in the live on tonight. But hey,
see you later.
See you later. See you later. She says, I need my rest. Been working since 4 a.m. Hey, you a soldier. You working more than what most young people work. So just take pride in that. This was an awesome chat. Very informative. Thank you for all you do for the community. And we thank you for all you do for the community as well, because you are a beacon of light for this community, Lady Cheryl. And I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart.
Look, as soon as I Google beacon, I'm agree with him.
So a lighthouse has a light beacon.
Oh, the little light that turns around. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you now. And they'll say, thank y'all. We will replant the spinach. Oh my goodness, what does it matter? We will replant the spinach, but I want my collards. Speaking of collards, I got my Georgia collards already now. I planted some more Georgia collards. Cute. Now I got some Morris Head collards.
Hey, so you about to really put it on the line then. You about to really prove this thing, because we've been having this little not impromptu. We've been having this little funny, friendly little battle here over which is better, the Morris Heading or the Georgia Collard. So Broke about to find out.
Dude, I'm just look. Some people, I hear a lot of people say, "Look, I'm not growing nothing in the fall." Dude, I love fall gardening. If you plant it just right, you can grow enough where you can, if you can, or blanch and freeze, that you can have your own fresh greens throughout the year. You know what I mean?
Oh
I
yeah.
love this time of year. Now things grow a little slower, but I like the fall garden. I love it.
Bro, I think I'm about to go a little OD with it because I'm literally about to plant 72 collard plants.
Do it. Do it. Dude, I'm never gonna get nobody a hard time for growing food. Because you can.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And I mean, like you said, you can freeze that stuff, and like the collards, if even and you like you was talking about the other night, you don't even gotta you don't gotta blanch them either. You just freaking you wash them and freeze them.
Now look, I didn't want to say that. Look, okay, cause look, people cuss you out in the comments for going against the grain. But the conversation we had, I don't know when, some couple of days ago,
yeah,
about blanching your greens. Now, the biggest thing that and it's just my understanding from trying to figure this out, it changes the taste if you don't blanch them. I think that's the biggest thing. It doesn't have as good a taste if you don't blanch them. Okay. So we talked about that. And
okay, and I'm gonna go ahead, since I'm gonna be growing so many collards, I'm gonna blanch some and I'm gonna freeze some regular, and we're gonna do some testing with that too.
There we go.
What's up, Dragon Queen? How you doing, family? Great to have you on the Lions Den on tonight. Let me give a roar because StreamYard don't want me to use my little device to make my little sound effects. So let's get a roar for all the Lions in the Den tonight.
That's an uncle lion.
Hey, good night, all now, homesteaders. Great having you here tonight. Great having you here tonight. Virtual smooches to you. Virtual smooches to you, right Lady Cheryl. What Turf said? You said?
Yeah.
Oh, about the blanching?
Yeah, he got a comment in here.
Oh, okay. Mine just didn't show up yet because the freaking thing is it wants to be slow on the StreamYard.
But Turf Therapy said, I've never blanched my greens and they taste just fine. I think that was a whole thing about it. Sometimes when you're doing this stuff, man, once you know that it's not something that's gonna hurt you, experiment. Just do some experiment. How do they taste blanched to you? Then if they taste okay, then why are you still doing it just because everybody else say do it? But I don't want. You know what? Somebody just hit the thumb down button when I said that. Keep my bad.
Nah, I love it. I want them to hit it, but it's all good. Hit it because whoever it is, let me give you some eye contacts and some smiles because you need it in your life, my friend. Just give you a second to just give you some love right now because that dislike, you just made it special for me, my friend. And look, whatever
they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
I felt it coming out.
I was about to say because I gotta let them know. Let it go. Let it go like Ella.
Sometimes when you too real, you feel that like button scratching your back. I mean that dislike button scratching your back. Oh. I felt it scratching my back, but it was something else.
So Andell, what I would say to you about starting collards at this time is Andell in zone 8A as well, or is she in 7B?
I think Andell in 8A too.
Honestly, Andell, I say go for it. Start you some seeds tonight. Literally get them outside as soon as possible and get you some row covers established for whatever area that you have those collards in. Because you're gonna have some cold nights that they might have some problems with, but they are cold tolerant plants. So you have to really kind of take into consideration. I'll give you an example. Like and this is not collards, but I had some spinach last year. We had literally it was 96 hours of below freezing temperatures. And the spinach just had snow over it. And when everything got warm enough to where the snow melted, every spinach I had survived. And I've also seen videos of people who have like collards and they'll have snowstorms and they'll just have them covered up with some row covers and they'll have a little minimal source of heat in there. And those collards push through just fine. So shoot, I'd say go for it, man.
But this thing not in there. Now, yes, I would direct sow the seeds, but I would definitely get some starts because starts are super cheap everywhere now. Just so you got a backup plan. That's all I'm saying. But do I think seeds are making? Yeah, because collards grow pretty fast.
They do. So and Cooking with Dorsha added to the conversation. And look, I think she added something really valuable to the conversation that we could kind of really just touch on. She said blanching stops enzyme loss, which enzymes help make nutrients more available in your body. So you don't want to stop that. It said it stops loss of color, which we could color, presentation is important, but it's not the end all be all. Taste, that is important, but that's where people are kind of like on the fence about this. Some people say that the taste is not lost, and then some people say the taste is better after you blanch. So I think this is all the reason why we should do a greens blanched or not blanched community challenge this season.
I like that. Because, she says blanching stop enzyme loss. Okay. Says stop loss of color. Okay. Taste.
And texture. She says texture too.
Yeah, but I don't know. Because growing up, my family always grew greens. Collard greens, turnip greens, that's normal to have in the garden growing up. I've never seen nobody blanch anything growing up, ever.
Hey, Dragon Queen #1 says, Kale, you don't have to cover. Let me tell you, she's so right about that, because I didn't cover none of my purple kale, my purple red Russian kale last year when we had that frost, and it was straight gangster. Like that kale, literally, it just like when everything melted, not a single leaf died on that thing. It was just, they were like 3 feet tall and they just pushed on through.
Now my curly kale is probably 4 feet now, 3-4 feet, and I've had it for over a year, and I bought it as a start. Some years old now. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have kale forever.
I'm just hitting some of the comments that I missed.
And I've never Pitts. I keep trying to click on people commenting.
Hey, I got you. But is that what you was trying to click on?
Yeah. I don't know, Pitts. That's fine.
The vac seal and the collards. If I were to vac seal collards, I would definitely flash freeze them before I did it, because if you're vac sealing collards, they're gonna basically turn into flat mush. You know what I'm saying? Because the pressure from the vac seal, if you don't flash freeze them and make the actual plant a little bit hard, just a little bit hard, it's gonna lose its shape when you put that vac sealer on it.
And Doja said, did they freeze them without blanching? Yes, 100% of them. I've never seen my family blanch collard green growing up. Never.
And see, that's why I think this makes for this is dope. I really want to see, I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I really want to see if there's differences. What's up,
dude? Look. I'm Gigi Natural might just made the point of the night. She said the cold definitely makes the collards more tender. All right. So they always say after the frost, the collards taste different, right? What if they're not picking them at the right time, and then they don't blanch them and they taste funny? Maybe the key is you got to pick them after a frost and freeze them direct, and it'll taste different, because collards got 2 different tastes now. So is it really that the blanching is doing that, or is it you're not picking it at the right time?
You're raising a lot of questions right now.
Because Gigi made a bunch of sense when she just said that.
She did make a lot of sense.
Quick. The cold definitely makes collard tender.
Oh yeah, but at home with Cherie says mine don't. I don't vac seed until they are all completely flat. Vac seal until they're all completely flat works great for me. And then Love knows. She said, "Did you see your family put them in the freezer?"
Yeah.
Okay, so you go ahead.
Yeah, they cut them up, put them in the freezer bag, handed them to me, and I put them in the freezer.
I think it was the magic touch. It was Broke's magic touch that made him fine.
See, Yankee sister say, go ahead.
No, we was on the same page. You can say it.
Yeah, Yankee sister, I've never blanched collards, and I have canned them also, and they were banging. Not that they tasted okay. No, they weren't okay. Yankee sister said they were banging. So I don't know. I'm starting to think it's a thing about when some people picking them. I'm just I don't know. I'm interested. I'm really way more interested in this subject than I should be. But I'm super interested.
And it's perfectly cool that we having this subject too, because I look down at my notes and we literally have covered everything on my page, and it's a full page of notes. That's crazy to me because I didn't sit here and just read on the notes. I just touched on them whenever we hit the points, and that's cool. I like that.
Josie B, hey, how you doing? Say young collard after frost tastes sweeter too. So if they taste really sweet after a frost and you cut them up and put them in the freezer, if they really sweet and good, then can the flavor really be thrown off that much if you don't blanch them? We just talking now. We just talking. Let me take the thumb down. Nope, nobody.
Hey, Josie B, how you doing tonight? Have you been in here before, family? If you haven't, welcome. G Natural says, spit that, bro, spit that.
But this is a great thing, Q. It's a conversation. We come together and it's 42 gardeners in here. Plus us is 42 altogether. That's a lot of gardening opinion. Sometimes we just talk through things and we figure out stuff. Just what it is.
Just what it is, bro. And like, and it's so cool. Like whenever we do this, like especially when it's complete different vibe when I got you with me, I got Turf with me, Eco, when we all together, you know, it's just, or anyone who I would bring up and just be a guest on the panel and stuff, you know, like I think it's really cool to just be able to have like we bounce off each other, and then like we'll shoot an assist to the comments. The comments will shoot a layup, and then we'll take the rebound and run it back to the side. You know, like it's dope. I like how it all flows together. And Garden of Twitty says, yo, what's up, brothers and family? I'm at work listening in. Hey, well, I'm glad that you're here, family. I'm super happy you're here. And Stinky Puddle Ranch says, I've never blanched my greens before freezing either. I do saute them, but not blanch. I treat mine the way my grandmother, my Turkish one, did.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Once he pull them out the freezer, how do he cook them then? Is he saying he saute them before he freeze them, or he saute them once they come out of the freezer? Because he said he never blanched them. So is it also the cooking style too?
Man, like I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like I just want to go. I want to grow the heck out of some collars now and figure all this stuff out, bro. Like, but Love Note said something that was interesting, and I think she's right, and I think it's because I've been doing lives for a while now that I've kind of developed the kind of style. You know what I'm saying? But she says, Lioncrest, have you noticed your lives follow your PowerPoints without you talking about them most of the time? I think that's authenticity for you. You know what I'm saying?
it's a natural conversation because you start the live with an overview of what you want to talk about. So as we talk, other points get brought up. And of course, in line with the notes that you already had, because that's the stuff you want to hit. So naturally and organically, when you get gardeners together, you know, you might be talking about this one thing, then it shoot over there. That's a point you want to make. Then it shoot over there. That's a point you want to make. That's a beautiful conversation.
Man, it's epic. It's so cool. And like the coolest thing about, I would never thought we'd talk about collars tonight, but I'm all for it. You know, I'm all for everything that we're talking about tonight. And it's just like it all roots, because collars is related to soil amendments, because you got to have your soil amended right to even grow the collars to begin with. So we've essentially we've kind of like taken a walk, and now we're at a certain point of the walk past the initial purpose of the walk. You know what I'm saying? We just walking more now because we enjoying the walk.
And look, now if you haven't got a thumb down yet, Q, let me make sure I get your thumb down right here. Now, growing up, we only boiled collard greens in the big pot. What if we all sauteed or stir fried, whatever the word for that. I'm not a cook. So what if you stir fried your collard greens? Would they taste different than just boiling them? And does that go into the whole thing about blanching or not blanching? Does it matter how you cook them? Does it matter how you season them? So what in general? Because you can season anything enough to taste how you want it to taste. I once ate sour. Was it soursop fruit? I think it was soursop fruit, and at a vegan restaurant, and they made it taste like fried chicken. So is it really what we eat, or is it other factors?
I think it's a combination of all of it. And it's like, that's a lot of the reason why we all on our journeys on YouTube, especially because we're trying to learn the deeper levels of insight that we really can learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we all do this thing. We all have our gardens that we're gardening in. But when we all come together like this, it really lets us get to the middle points. You know what I'm saying? Because there's the main points, then there's like the points in between. We hitting all these points in between that's making it just glue together. And Cooking with Dorsha says everyone has different taste buds, and what may taste good to some may not to others.
Stinky made a good point. Stinky photo range. It's up a little bit though. Yeah. Oh, you got it right there. Okay.
It's because I'm so behind. I mean, up seems like right on point to me. Son.
But this was the point he was making. He was saying when he said saute, and then he put in parentheses lightly. Place on cookie sheet to freeze, and then separate them into vacuum bags or Ziplocs. When I cook with them, I will finish the saute or simply warm them up and add with soup or rice, etc.
That sounds delicious, bro. Sounds like straight up delicious.
Straight delicious.
Hey,
that sounds good.
Well, shoot. Oh, she was just responding to somebody else.
But what's up, Hudson? How you doing?
Hey, Hudson.
Yeah, Maria Jackson was right. It wasn't soursop. It was jackfruit. That's what it was. Jackfruit.
Oh yeah. Because they had some of that at the farmers market in Dallas. We went to it. They had like a stand with jackfruit, different flavored foods. So Tiffany Shree's Love says, I wrap everything in bacon. I only do that for the flavor.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that's the whole point of it. It's everybody's taste buds are different. So for somebody to say that it's gonna taste different according to who taste buds, and that's a great conversation.
Bro, do y'all hear this music right now?
Yeah,
it's not bad, but it's just like so vibey, bro. Like it's just like
I like it in a weird way though. I think it's cool in a weird way.
I feel like we're like. It's like we on our shaman energy or something. Like,
but I like it though. It's got a different flow to it.
For real. What's up, my tiny garden? I haven't seen you here before. It's great to see you in the Lion's Den. Glad to have you here.
I jumped.
I'm already at the very bottom. I probably skipped a lot, but like I said, it's cool. I'm gonna, if someone wants to say something they really want to be heard.
A couple things. Love Note said jackfruit tastes like pulled pork. Jackfruit is good cooked. I eat a lot of vegetarian restaurants. I like meat, but I can take it or leave it.
I'm starting to get there, bro. Like, to be honest with you, like my meat intake as I get older is getting less and less and less and less because it just messes with my energy level so much. Like,
yeah,
it just makes me feel like sluggish, and I'm like, I don't like that feeling because we gardeners, like as gardeners, maybe for some people like who don't really like get out and do stuff with their hands too much, they really wouldn't notice so much of the sluggishness because they're just. And I'm not trying to like put nobody under an umbrella right now. I'm just kind of trying to understand a little bit, but as a gardener who gets out at the wee bits of the morning, might be out there late at night trying to do something with the garden.
Yep.
It doesn't sit well with me when I'm eating these heavy meats.
Yeah, I don't like to be weighed down by food either, man. I like food to be something that's good to eat, but I want to move after I eat. You eat some stuff, you get that itis.
For sure. The itis be hitting serious.
Woo! The itis say go to sleep. Nah, go to sleep.
And the funny thing about the itis, like, one day I was just thinking about it, and I was just thinking about what itis. It's like ITIS, I guess, and it's like I was like, man, I guess itis is what it is. And
it is what it is. The itis say, man, you better not get up. You get up, we got a problem.
Okay, let's see here. Because there was a comment that. Oh, okay. So she said she was here before. I think she was here before. So, okay, yeah, she just had the name changed. Okay. Got you. But I think Dragon Queen said something that I wanted to say. Okay, so yeah, she said it also depends on how long you blanch your greens, because blanching and cooking are different. That's true. That's completely true.
It's so many different perspectives on this conversation, man. I love it. Love it.
Oh yeah.
And that's something else. Maria Jackson was talking about. Tropic mushroom is a pulled pork vegan. It's a lot of things, a lot of vegetables. If you cook them and season the right way, it's hard to tell the difference between vegetables and meat. I'm just saying, it's super cool.
Oh man, like, and when you learn that, bro, it's like a light bulb goes off almost. Like you're just like, oh, stuff can take, because meat only really, meat has a savory taste to it because of what it is, but realistically, unless it's like the highest quality of meat, you can't really just taste that by itself. The seasoning is usually what carries the meat to the flavor of what you're looking for.
I mean, like I had vegan chicken and waffles. Let that sit for a minute, and it was delicious.
So lucky for Lavender for Luck. She said, well, is Lavender for Luck a lady? I think so, and if not, correct me. But Lavender for Luck says, they said earlier, they were like, do y'all put cabbage in your collards? I've never had that before.
Me either.
But the Yankee sister says sometimes I mix collards with kale or cabbage.
Now I want to try the kale with collards. That sounds like it'd be good.
Oh yeah, that does sound like it'd be good.
Oh, Gigi, that's good too. Gigi says she fried mushrooms and cauliflower and don't miss meat at all. That is delicious. They can do some awesome things with cauliflower, dude.
Ooh,
awesome.
That sounds like it'd be good right there. That sounds like it'd be good. Get some of that, like, mushroom. And I didn't used to like mushrooms, but they're growing on me. No pun intended. Because if mushrooms was growing off of me, it'd be some problems going on. But yeah, Love Note says your seasonings are the key in cooking vegetarian.
Yeah, and that's the whole, I think, point of the conversation about the blanching. You can pretty much make it taste like you want.
So y'all, let me tell you, Tiffany Gray, she's highly severely allergic to mushrooms. That's why she's saying that. So yeah.
And the thing about it, when you grow up poor, you can't be allergic to food. It's a fact. I'm not allergic to no food.
Oh yeah, them kohlrabi leaves are so good. Like, don't sleep on no kohlrabi greens, because them bad boys is good.
I got something going out there in the garden, Q. Ooh.
He say he got something cooking in the garden. But look, y'all, like, I'm gonna be straight up. Like, we have. I didn't even intend to go this long today, but look, I think we've had a wonderful live. Like, I'm not gonna just abruptly end. We gonna say our goodbyes and good nights when we hit that 2-hour mark. We gonna close it out. But look, we've had a wonderful conversation on today, and I look so bless you. I look so forward to next Thursday, because we gonna kick this thing right back up, and we gonna be on another subject, and we gonna break it down. And it might just be me, but like, hey, it's all good. Hey, but Urban Garden Chronicle says, I am Caribbean and I saute it. It tastes great. I don't fancy boiled veggies. And welcome to the Lions Den. Welcome to the Lions Den, Urban Garden Chronicles.
And, that's about where I'm at, Q, to be honest with you. I just like the way sauteed vegetables taste way better than boiling. It ain't even close no more. Not even close.
Well, I feel like that has a lot to do with, like, when you're boiling stuff, the water dilutes some of the flavor of what you're going to end up eating no matter what happens, unless you're making like some kind of soup. What's up, Solar Family Travels? How you doing, family?
Yeah. Hey, Danae, Backyard Garden, how you doing?
Hey, Danae. Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you, family. Hey, and let me tell y'all, I've had a wonderful time, even though I'm sitting over here chipmunked out. I feel great. Y'all are really adding to the energy, and the music is dope. I, like, hey, broke over, we just jam. Hey, hey. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, but but look, let me go ahead and link everybody's goodbyes and everything like that. But Solar, we said hey to you. How you doing, Stuart? I got you with the seeds. We good. We good. I'm gonna send them out. Thank you for all the information. Thank you for being here to be a part of the information. Thank you for being here to just take part in the conversation because we value you. We value everybody here. Love Note says I will grow mushrooms in a heartbeat. You got some oaks out there. You growing some shiitakes? Boy, Mad Boys is good.
Wait, what song is that, Q?
Let me see. I'll tell you what the name of it is. It's called Charade, and it's by Tape Machines. It's the instrumental version.
I like that.
Angel loves garden. I appreciate that, family. Bless you, Yankees sister. Bless you. Grown with Hudson. She wants you to say cranberry.
Cranberry.
He said it so proper just so you couldn't get that satisfaction. Look at him.
Look, I intentionally just slowed all the way down. Cause look, my sinuses acting up, and it could have really got country, really.
Oh yeah. Hey, Solar Travels said I've been listening, and I've put really good smoked sausage in my collars and ham with salt and pepper, and that's it. Ooh. That's the itis right there. And it ain't itis because it's like it's gonna be sluggish, but it's just I'm gonna eat so much of it, I'm gonna just have itis after that.
But look, Solar Family Travel, put in the comment real quick. Do you have the thick sweet cornbread, the cornbread with real corn kernels in it, or do you have the thin whole cake cornbread? Put it in the chat real quick. Yeah. I'm
gonna keep scrolling. Just put that in the chat. So Andel Homestead says it's been very informative. Thank you, MIG. Hey, you're welcome, family, and it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure, family. We're here for you. We're here for the community. Tiffany Q, much love to you. Glad that you could be here tonight. Glad that you could spend some time and just hang around. Bye, Sweet Pea. It's great to have you here tonight. She says, bye, family. See y'all around. We'll see you around too. You have the best evening ever as well, Yankee sister. Maria Jackson, have a wonderful night. And I'm super happy you could be in the Lions Den on tonight. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
That thin cornbread. We call it whole cake cornbread down here in the South. Okay.
Oh yeah. Hey, Turf Therapy, I appreciate that, my brother. He says another banger. Hey, we just gonna keep banging it out because that's what we about. You know what it is. So thick all day, she said. Thick all day.
Thick. She's talking about cornbread. She's talking about cornbread.
Hey. She said, I love the way Broke talk. Got that southern twang. That southern love. Hey.
Just me.
That's that sipping tea on the lawn chair voice right there. It ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't not a thing. Not a thing. Look, Gigi, now you know what I'm talking about. Yes, that whole cake, bro. Hey, that whole cake. Look.
Oh yeah.
Get the crispy around the edge. Let me leave it alone. We're gonna hit another hour talking about cornbread. Let me leave that alone.
Hey, JG, thank you for listening. You know, and another very important point. Chat is very optional. I appreciate you listening, JG. And you know, I think it's very good to listen and to contribute, you know, because sometimes when you really want to learn something deeply, you got to just listen sometimes, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is. And y'all, we hit our 2-hour mark. We passed the point. We had a great live and we up in here. We vibing right now. We vibing. So let's end on a high note. Let's end on a good note. And y'all know what that means, right? Broke, you want to do it for us today?
That's FarmerQ.
That's Brokefarmer. Out.